There's still a lot of attention this morning on former Vice President Joe Biden's $700 billion economic plan. He started rolling it out last week, arguing that President Trump is too focused on Wall Street, while he'll be focused on Main Street if he's elected president. Here to talk about is Austan Goolsbee, former chair of the Council of Economic Advisors under President Barack Obama. He's now an economics professor at the University of Chicago, a Biden supporter, and one of the economists connected to the Biden campaign. Austan, good to speak with you this morning. Listen, we've talked to a lot of strategists on Wall Street since this plan became public. The sentiment is it's anti-Wall Street. It's potentially anti-corporation. Speak to investors out there. What are they missing in the plan from Joe Biden?
Well, I haven't gotten that negative of a vibe from investors as you're describing. The basics of the plan are about investment and rebuilding the needed, let's call it infrastructure broadly, that the country needs. So that's physical infrastructure, technological infrastructure, a bunch of things where we've kind of let it hollow out. And for sure that's affected workers. But it's not. Wall Street and the Main Street of the economy are not on different islands. Wall Street, it might be on an island, but it's not on an island in the economic sense. And I think with what you see with the Biden program is, if you strengthen the middle class, I would just point out that historically that's been very, very good for everyone. You know, we all do better when we all do better. And that's been true for investors too. So I think that the thing that's been hurting the stock market has been the total out of control nature of COVID-19. And that we're now seeing that start to re-rage across the country in exactly the places where the president was encouraging them to go out and disregard the shutdowns, and now those chickens are coming home to roost.
Austan, you know, we've seen other presidents do these sort of buy American pushes, something that we saw Biden do a few days ago. How is that different than President Trump's America First stance?
Well, I guess I would say two things about that. The buy American is in the context of government procurement for the infrastructure and technological backbone of the country. That's, I think, quite different from the trade war-based America First strategy that you're describing, which is what applied for President Trump. And it's worth remembering, before there ever was COVID, because of the trade wars and the strategy that the administration was enacting, manufacturing was already in a recession. It had gone 6 months of decline at the end of last year, before COVID even arrived. So I don't think that investing in R&D, investing in technology and infrastructure as an buy America strategy, I don't think that that's really that similar to the America First trade war strategy of the president.
Austan, if Joe Biden does get elected president, you know, and just going by his proposals, he takes that statutory tax rate from 21% currently to 28%. Do you think that will mean corporations invest less in their business and potentially hire fewer people? How do you think about it?
Well, I don't think that it would mean that. I think that the $2 trillion corporate tax giveaway that we had at the beginning of the Trump administration has not proven to increase investment by anything like what they said. It mostly served as just a windfall handout. And I think that if you go back to a totally reasonable level of corporate tax and you couple it with direct public investments as well as incentives for companies to make new investments, you can definitely prevent any downturn in corporate investment and GDP. Historically, as I say, we've had corporate investment that was substantially stronger than it is now, despite having that low tax rate. Most of what the tax cut was used for, as you know, was not actual investment. It was share repurchases and dividend payouts. So I really don't think that we should be gearing our policy toward finding a way to make it cheaper for people to pay out dividends and do share repurchases rather than actually having to do the investment to get the tax break.
You know, Austan, President Trump has been painting Biden as soft on China. If we were to see a Biden White House, what do you think would happen with our relationship with China? Would it be a situation where Biden would roll back, you know, the tariffs that we've seen Trump impose on China?
I don't know for sure. I know that the relationship with China has been, to my mind, dreadfully mismanaged in a kind of a almost comically bad way, in which we've threatened and enacted trade wars against China while simultaneously threatening massive trade wars against all of our allies that we would need in any effort to try to isolate China. As step one, I would think that a President Biden's relationships with all of our allies would put him in a far better place to try to change Chinese behavior than what the Trump administration has done.
Austan, we're nearing the expiration of this critical stimulus with regards to the top up for unemployment claims. How would President Biden address that if he was president, or Vice President Biden? How would he address that?
Yeah, look, the vice president has said repeatedly that if you're in the middle of a raging pandemic and the highest unemployment that we have seen since the Great Depression, that's not the moment to go cut off relief and rescue efforts to ordinary people. I mean, I think if you look at the response of the administration versus the response called for by Joe Biden, it's pretty different in the where the focus is. So Biden's call is, let's give money to workers, to small business, and provide direct relief. The administration's response is more, let's cut corporate taxes again. Now they're talking about, let's have a high income capital gains tax rate cut. I don't think that approach works. I think it will be necessary if we do not have control on the spread of the virus, which right now it's clear we don't, then you have to provide relief. What are you going to do? The unemployment rate is in double digits. We're still having 1.3 million people losing their jobs and filing for new unemployment claims in the last week. So the idea that somehow the economy is fixed and therefore we can cut off support, I don't understand that at all.
All right, let's leave it there for now. Right now, Austan Goolsbee, former chair of the Council of Economic Advisors under President Barack Obama. Always good to speak with you.
Yeah, great talking to you again.
Appreciate it.
Hey investors, Zach Guzman here. Are you interested in learning more about the markets and getting the latest financial news? Well, then click right here to subscribe to our Yahoo Finance YouTube channel. Get the latest up-to-the-minute market analysis, big interviews in the world of finance, and information on how to manage your money every day wherever you are.